distinguished participants, panelists, good morning, good afternoon to all. Welcome to the Journalism Emeritus Foundation's virtual event today, Power of Press Freedom and Online Media for Human Rights and Democracy, organized on the sidelines of the World Press Freedom Day 2025. I am JWF, Journalism Emeritus Foundation's representative to the United Nations. JWF is an international civil society organization based in New York dedicated to the culture of peace, human rights, and sustainable development. Being affiliated with the UN Department of Global Communications, JWF organizes intellectual forums working on inclusive policy recommendations, generates knowledge on the UN priorities, and leads international programs for the timely and gender-sensitive implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals. UNESCO set the theme of this year's World Press Freedom Day as Reporting in the Brave New World, the impact of artificial intelligence on press freedom and the media. And yes, we live in turbulent times where media professionals are leading brave work on the front lines, reporting from pressing circumstances and unfortunately combating many personal threats. Journalists' work is criminalized in an increasing number of countries as they face various forms of judicial harassment, online violence, arbitrary detention, and even deliberate targeting, which costs their lives. As we will soon hear from the expert panelists today, press freedom, media independence, and global citizens' right to express themselves, particularly on online media platforms, are no longer granted. The democratic trajectory is on a steady decline as most of the global population now lives in autocracies, where we observe declining trust in multilateralism, moving towards a multipolar world, and increasing use of hybrid warfare approaches. Despite this latest status quo, we continue to advocate for the protection of journalists, human rights defenders, and civil society members as they are the champions of democratic, peaceful, and thriving societies. Well, all these intersectional topics will be unfolded by outstanding experts today, and we have Washington's top news national security correspondent JJ Green with us to moderate this session. He reports daily on international security, intelligence, foreign policy, terrorism, and cyber developments. Mr. Green provides regular reporting and on-air analysis on breaking security news. He also hosts the weekly podcast Target USA, which examines the threats facing the US, and the weekly broadcast program The Hunt. Recipient of more than 40 national, regional, and local journalism awards for his work, JJ Green traveled to more than 50 countries, investigating, reporting, and analyzing some of the world's top international security stories, including the war in Ukraine. Thank you so much for being with us today. Over to you, JJ.
Well, good morning. Thank you so much for this opportunity, distinguished panelist, and certainly I really appreciate JWF, the opportunity that you've extended to me to moderate and lead this very important discussion today about the future of journalism. To start off, I have a few words that I'd like to share, if you will permit me. A long time ago, Albert Einstein said, "Adversity introduces a man to himself." In my opinion, right now, across the United States, there are hundreds of millions of Americans that are getting that introduction right now. Many of them have lost their jobs. A lot of them believe they've lost their future. And many of them have lost their hope. And sadly, some of them have lost their nerve. When you look at what's taken place here in the U.S. in the first 101 days of this latest administration in the U.S., and you see the path that the U.S. government is on, and when you take a look at the trajectory of the greater world, it's clear we're living in a time that none of us have ever seen before. But after 30 years of journalism, traveling to 50-plus countries, meeting people and sitting down with individuals ranging from street sweepers to heads of state, I've learned one very important thing. No matter what happens, the pendulum of life continues to swing, and it will swing back the other way. For the last few months, people in the U.S. have been reminded in ways that most never imagined they'd see that freedom of the press is more than just a dusty old term written into the U.S. Constitution by men who all died more than 200 years ago. One of those men was Benjamin Franklin. He was a polymath. In fact, he was a diplomat, a scientist, a philosopher, an inventor, and yes, Benjamin Franklin was a journalist. And he famously said, "We must indeed all hang together, or most assuredly we shall all hang separately." Franklin's wisdom during the Revolutionary War rings true today, facing new and existential threats and challenges. If journalists around the world fail to unite in defense of a free press today, the day may soon come when no freedom at all shall remain to defend. So people often want to turn back the clock, and we see that so often. They want to go back to a time when circumstances of their lives